Good evening, Sean Rude. Good to see you, sir.
Hey, how are you?
I'm well. Thank you.
Trying to figure out the buttons on this thing. Had me locked out for a minute.
Understood. Understood. Okay. Let's see.
So out of curiosity, James, did we hear back from everybody on the MAC? Are there any absentees that you know of, or?
None other than, Tom, but everyone
Right.
else is anticipated to be here.
Okay, great. So Victoria, Stephanie.
Yeah. So we do have a quorum, which is good.
Do we?
Mm-hmm. With you, Stephanie, and Victoria, we're good to go.
Okay, so let's start the meeting. Welcome everybody to the January 20th MAC, East Richmond Heights MAC meeting tonight. The first order of business is call the roll. So let me start with that. Brenda Williams. No answer. Victoria Curtis. I thought I did see Victoria.
I did too. Maybe she'll log back in.
Okay. Lisa Rafael. No. Jinwei Zhang. Am I saying that right? Jinwei
Yes,
Zhang?
it's correct.
Okay, and you're here. Great.
Let me
And
start
Stephanie
the
Dyer.
roll.
Here.
Okay.
And BK is it, and so is Lisa.
Okay, great. So, yeah, welcome to everybody, and especially we have two new alternates on our MAC council tonight, and that is Jinwei Zhang and Stephanie Dyer. They've just been appointed, so I just wanted to welcome both of you, and I wanted to give each of you just a minute to say hi to everybody and a little bit about yourself, if you like. So Stephanie, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I can do that. Hi, all. I just moved to East Richmond Heights last year with my partner, Todd Hodis, and we're brand new homeowners, although we're longtime East Bay residents. Before moving up into the neighborhood, I lived in Richmond Annex for a number of years, and before that in El Cerrito. So, and we're just very excited to be able to contribute to the local neighborhood. I work as an educator. I'm a professor up at Sonoma State University.
Well, welcome. We're glad you're here.
Thanks.
Thank you. So Jinwei?
Hi, my name is Jinwei, and I have been living here for 7 years. Yeah, we moved here since my my daughter arrived, so we decided that this is a great place to move out of San Francisco, and since then we lived here. It's a great neighborhood, and thank you for welcoming me to the MAC. And I am a licensed architect, and also I worked as a city planner in city of San Francisco before. So I worked as a planner there before, and I have my own architecture firm. So I'm a licensed architect in California, and also I'm working on a fintech startup with my classmate from Berkeley, Haas, and so that's pretty much what I'm doing now.
Okay, great. Well, welcome. We're glad to have you too. So the first item on our agenda tonight, we'll just start out and dig right in, is election of officers. And I'm sure you all heard that Tom Jancy, who was vice chair, has resigned. And we have a vacancy for the vice chair, and I'm the chair. I've been doing this for a while, and I'd be happy if somebody would want to jump in and take over the chair and get some experience. It'd be great. I want to offer that. So with that, do we, I guess we could request some nominations?
Right. So because we don't have the complete MAC, all 5 members, Stephanie will serve as one of the voting members tonight. And you kind of have to nominate yourself or nominate someone else for one of the chair or vice chair positions. But I'm giving the caveat in that you can't vote for Stephanie or Jinwei, because they are in alternate positions. Although Stephanie is serving in a board member seat tonight, she can vote, but we can't nominate her for either chair or vice chair. And I'll give more on my, during my time to run my mouth a little more later on about the vacancy, but she will be serving in the full member role tonight and can vote, but unfortunately we cannot nominate her or Jean Wei for chair or vice chair.
Okay, so
And Joanne, the two positions are just chair and vice chair? We don't have other positions? I don't remember.
well, we have subcommittees. We have secretary and treasurer also. Although I don't,
We've been operating without one. We could elect one if somebody is interested in writing the minutes and all that kind of stuff, but I don't have any problem for filling that role. We've not had someone fill the secretary position, but we certainly can if you all decide you want to.
So the two important ones are chair and vice chair.
Yes, ma'am.
yes. And you don't have to nominate somebody else if you'd like to be considered, or please volunteer. Would be great. I see people are thinking. Lisa, did you want to?
I mean, I'd rather not. I feel like, I sort of stumble on here from work and go right back to work as soon as I'm done here. So I feel a little overwhelmed. Victoria, I mean, it's just you, me, and Victoria and BK, right? BK, do you have any interest? Victoria, do you have any interest? No, BK is probably too busy too.
Yeah, I would do it if no one else like on the planet could do it, but I doubt that that's the case. So, and yes, I'm very, very busy. So yeah, I would pass unless and right now we have we have a chair. We just don't have a vice chair, right?
I know, but I think it's just time to, to rotate maybe and give the opportunity
Just
to
at least
others.
have the elections. It can be the same people. The El Sobrante MAC held elections, voted the same people, but it's a formality that we need to go through. At least we can renominate, Joanne, but we have to do that piece.
Okay, well, to move the meeting along, and I see that no one is interested. I would love to give this position to somebody, but seeing as no one's interested right now, I will volunteer to continue unless there's any objections. And
Oh, just gratitude, just gratitude.
Thank you. And but we do need a vice chair.
Yeah.
Because Tom Jency has resigned, he was the vice chair. So that is.
What are the responsibilities of a vice chair?
Well, I know you take over the meeting if I'm not here or can't be here. Other than that, I don't think there's anything
No additional responsibility
that we've run into in this MAC.
Okay, that's fine. I could be vice chair.
Okay, so we can does somebody want to make a motion?
Here we go.
Motion to, I guess, how do I want to say this? Motion to renominate Joanne to be chair and Victoria to be vice chair.
Nicely done. Thank you.
Okay, so we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I second that.
BK on the
Okay,
second.
BK. Okay, do we want to do a one-by-one vote? We can do that. So Lisa, yay or
I
nay?
vote yay in both, yay for both.
Okay, and Brenda, BK,
I vote yes on both.
Victoria,
Yes, on both.
and Lisa. Did I call you already? Okay, and I vote yes. So I'm still the chair.
Did we get Stephanie?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
And so the motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Okay, so next on our agenda is, do we have, oh gosh, I didn't get the minutes.
No, and that's on me. I've got to find the recording from the last meeting. It's disappeared somewhere. You can probably see over here my old computer. So information's going from here to this new computer, and I have to find the recording because Typically, I would take notes by hand, but I boldly admit to not taking notes because we were recording it, and there's something up with the MP4 file. So I'm getting some help from our IT folks to see if we can figure that out. But that's my bad on there.
Okay, good luck. That was a long meeting.
I won't comment, but thank you. I'll figure that out. But I'll have minutes for sure for our next meeting.
Okay, thank you. So James, you're still on because next is the treasurer's report.
And the max balance is $3,000.
Okay, any questions of council members? Okay, so we move on to our presentations. The first presentation is by the Sheriff's Office, the base station commander, Lieutenant Buford.
So Lieutenant
Sergeant Root,
Sergeant.
unfortunately. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Your
that's
name is.
He gave me a report to read to you guys. I mean, it's been actually really quiet up in East Richmond Heights over the last 3 months. I think we've only taken a total of 12 calls for service, and in November we took 6. But it's, for the most part, it stays, me being the shift supervisor out here, East Richmond Heights usually stays very quiet. I mean, if you guys want to know what the calls were, I can go over the calls with you real quick. It's a short list if you guys are interested.
I'm interested, please.
Okay. So they're as follows. I'll just go over them briefly. If you want to know about the call, I'll tell you if I know anything about it. We took a missing person report of an adult. There were 3 warrant arrests made up there. 1 death, including today, it would be 2 deaths because we had a death up there today. Domestic violence violation, disturbing the peace violation, 1 residential burglary, 1 petty theft, 1 mentally ill commitment, and 1 identity theft. And the other one doesn't really say what it is. I can't tell you. There's no information for it. But for the most part, it seems like it's been staying pretty quiet up there. The only thing I would suggest for if you guys get the information out to the residents out there, keep your eyes open for any cars that are hanging around in the area. We're starting to get a lot of residential burglaries during the daytime. They've hit a couple houses out in Rodeo. It's probably going to be the same people, but they're doing it during daylight when people are gone at work. And they're targeting specific houses that they think where people are gone. So pass the word along that anybody in the neighborhoods, if they start seeing cars driving around that are unfamiliar, don't hesitate on calling, because that's what the deputies get paid to do. And even if deputies just drive through, for the most part, it may prevent a burglary or a theft of a vehicle or a theft from someone's car.
I have a question. Were the 2 deaths natural causes?
I can't really tell you that. I'm not a coroner, but I can tell you that they were not homicides. I can tell you for the one today, the coroner's office did pick up the individual. For the other one, I was actually on both of these. The other one, it was a female that died of complications from an illness, but it was not COVID.
Okay.
So that's what those were.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions from the council? Okay, any questions or comments from our visitors at the meeting? Okay.
I do have to run because they're dispatching calls that I have to go to. So if anybody has any questions of me, feel free to ask before I have to go.
Sorry, I have one question for you. When you mentioned that folks should call, is that the non-emergency number they should be calling, or should they be calling 911 for the suspicious cars?
Well, I mean, it depends. If they think a house is being burglarized, or they're getting ready to break into a car, or if they think someone's actually involved in a crime that is occurring, don't hesitate in calling 911. A lot of these individuals that are breaking into homes, that are breaking into cars, they're actually armed. The violent crime rate is rising in California. We are finding more guns on people. So yeah, if they think that they need to call 911, don't hesitate in calling 911. They shouldn't have to have that thought in their head if they think, oh, do I need to call the general line or I need to call 911? If they don't know that general number, just call 911. The dispatcher will still create a call and still dispatch it.
Copy that. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, not a problem. All right, so it's good being here again.
We'll see
Thank
you
guys.
next time.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, so next on the, we're still under presentations, and the next presentation is by the California Highway Patrol.
I don't believe we've got anyone from the Highway Patrol.
Okay, well, if they show up, James, maybe let us know, and we'll just move on to the next one, which is you again, James, and you're going to give us a report from on Super Joya's office and what's going on.
All right, so I've got a couple of things. The first thing that I will talk about is the vacancy. So Tom Jancy did resign, and we have some applications from 2020 and 2019. Supervisor Joy will be looking through them. I hope Mr. Sargent doesn't mind me acknowledging that we received an application from him for to join our MAC. But Supervisor Joy and I will be going through the applications, setting up interviews, and we will definitely have a new MAC member prior to our next meeting. So who fills what seats and all that, that is all Supervisor Joy. I'm more of the clerical, fill out the board order, make sure all that stuff gets submitted. He makes those decisions independent of me. But I wanted to give everyone a heads up. Tom did resign. It didn't sound like there was anything going on. He's one of our inaugural members, and it was good to have him on while he was on.
Can I just say that, can I add that, Tom Jancy served on the Land Use Committee and I served with him. And we had a really good committee, and I really appreciated a lot of his input at our meetings, because those, I guess of all the subcommittees, that one seems to be the most active as we get applications from the county on properties. And so anyway, I'm going to miss him on that committee. But I wanted to say a special thank you for all of his work on that.
Me too. Me too. So I've got a list of things. I tried to write them in order, but it's not making any sense. So we'll just kind of go through. The next thing I'd like to mention is that Supervisor Joya and Assemblymember Buffy Wicks will be hosting a town hall on vaccines tomorrow at 1300. That's the Marine in me. Tomorrow at 1 p.m. If you did not receive Supervisor Joy's email today or yesterday about it, you can email me and I can forward you the information. I don't believe I can, well, actually I might be able to put the link from the email into the chat. So
Do you want me to do that, James? I can do that so you can keep going.
Sure. Do you have the URL for the email?
Yep, I'm
Okay.
sure I do.
Okay, that's something I usually have to dig out of Constant Contact. Okay.
Let me see if I can find it. I think I can. Yep.
Also, for those that are interested in the vaccines, the county's coronavirus webpage, the landing page we have for that, there is a section for vaccines. For those 65 and older, you can request an appointment if you are interested in getting a vaccine. I've got the video. Okay. So when you go to the page, you will be able to send in your information, and then the county will respond to you and let you know when and where your appointment will be. Yeah. There's been a lot of information back and forth, so I'm reading and telling you and making sure I'm saying everything just as it is. Joanne?
Yes, I just wanted to add to that because I did apply, and I applied last week, maybe Thursday, and I got a response today. So then I set up an appointment in a couple of weeks. So I just want to encourage people to apply and to be patient. They do get back to you. It took about a week, but they do get back to you.
That is good news. Okay, what else do we have? Oh, so for those that attended our special meeting in December, the map, I can't send the map out yet, but we did create the map, including the North Arlington, the Tewksbury Heights or the Tewksbury area. We do have a map drawn up. I can't send it out just yet, but there is a map, and this area here is the proposed area along North Arlington to include into the East Richmond Heights MAC. Currently, this area, the North Arlington area, is in the El Sobrante MAC area. And that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to some of us. So we will be reviewing that map with Supervisor Joya. Will Nelson did send that to us. And whatever the next steps are, Supervisor Joya and will let me know, and I'll be informing everyone by email because it'll happen before our next meeting. But I did want to let everyone know that I did attend the special meeting, that we did get the map. There has been discussion, and figuring out what's next is on Supervisor Joya's radar to get knocked out in the next couple of weeks. Okay, and the last thing that I want to do is talk about the land use committee. So we have a vacancy, and we prefer to have 2 people on our subcommittees. So if there is someone else that is interested in filling Tom's spot on the land use committee, we could certainly use someone on it. And to talk a little bit about the land use committee, when someone applies to the county a building permit or an application that requires comment from agencies, East Bay Mud, West County Wastewater District, there could be, the Contra Costa Fire Protection District. There are a number of different agencies that may need to give input on a project, and the MAC is typically one of the agencies that is asked to give input. So you'd review the applications. Janeway, I see you nodding your head. This is something I'm sure you're quite familiar with. It is.
I've been working on those kind of things for quite some time. Yeah.
So this is, we don't get a lot of applications, not like I do in El Sobrante, which, we get outside of last year. Most of the time we get somewhere between 12 and, 15 a year. But for East Richmond, we get, maybe 3 to 5, something like that. So it's not very labor intensive. It would require someone to meet, kind of in the evening like we're doing now, to review the application. And the idea being to sort of look out for the community and to acknowledge any discrepancies that you might have or things that you have questions about. It's an opportunity to have some discussion with the person that submit the application, get some insight in the project outside of what's given in the description, which is only, about 4 sentences long. But that sort of, and I write the agenda and I do all of that piece. We would need you to look at the application ahead of time and then, provide some comment at the meeting, and then listen to input from the applicant. And
I can volunteer for that if I'm eligible for that, because that's something I know I can do, and I'm good at it.
Okay. Joanne?
Yeah, I was just going to say that we probably had, since we've had the MAC, we've probably had about 5 or 6 applications, and our meetings have been very productive, I think, and we've actually affected some change in, we've had neighbors come to the meetings when there was some effort that they didn't approve of what was being proposed, and we've worked out, and actually some changes actually have come about from the land use committee. So it's effective and it's enjoyable to be on, I think.
I agree. So that constitutes all of the updates that I had and what I came prepared to speak about tonight. So I'd like to open up the floor to our MAC members. If you have any questions about anything, now is your time to lob them my direction.
Oh, the view ordinance?
Yes, so the view ordinance is, Supervisor Joyce sort of lumped that together with the map, and incorporating that North Arlington area. So he's looking at both of them together. And, once the map gets resolved, we will also be having that discussion about the view ordinance as well. So they will all be the same update. My apologies for my email. But we will, before our next meeting, for sure, we will definitely have a discussion. And if we need to have a special meeting to talk about it, which I'm more in favor of instead of waiting until April, we will likely have a special meeting once everything is in position for us to make some decisions on.
And do you have any update on the general plan?
Nothing other than for folks to continue to send their input in. If you've got input on what was outlined in the meetings for the community, go ahead and continue to send those comments in. You can send them to Will Nelson, and I can put Will's information in the chat. And let's see.
Yeah, I sent a few comments to Will and he got back to me with some questions on my comments. So your input, anybody, it's really not only welcome, but they'd love a lot of input.
Right. The county has not done a general plan update or a zoning update in decades. And I can't remember which one is further into the past. One is about 70 years and the other is about 30 years. So, and this is everyone's opportunity to give input on what you want the future of the community to look like and for consideration to be given for projects moving forward. So I'm putting Will Nelson's email address in the chat, and then I'm going to look up the link for the general plan 2040.
And there's a whole section on East Richmond Heights. So you can go to that and you can see what the goals are. You can add, and if you have any goals, add to them. I know one of the comments I reiterated, what was from our last meeting, was to start the bus route along the Arlington, which there used to be, and it was discontinued. And that came up at our last meeting. I think it's an excellent comment. Will said, however, that they can only put down as a suggestion because obviously they don't have control over bus company. So it could just be a suggestion, but it could be included. And it will be, I assume.
That it will.
I have two comments, James.
And
So one is a reminder that not in December, but I guess in November, I was asked to draft the letter, or I volunteered to draft the letter to the city of Richmond because they were closing or thinking, we thought they were closing a particular fire station. And the next day, I believe, Tom Butt put out a statement. They weren't closing it. So I didn't follow up on that.
and that's my bad too.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to get back on that since I thought it was an open item. But I thought that since he was saying that was not their intention, I didn't feel that we needed to respond. So I did not draft a letter. So I just wanted to remind you guys that was out there, but it does not seem like they have any plans. And I'm working on a separate project with the budget and just looking at, they have no money according to the city. So, everything is up in the air, but to close an entire fire station just doesn't seem to be on their tick list right now. So just FYI.
Thank you.
Sure.
Stephanie, I saw you wave while I was talking.
No, I was just going to ask where I could find a draft of the general plan, but it sounds like you're going to give us a link.
And I included the link. It's in the chat. So it'll take you to a PDF, and that has, you'll see it will say draft, but through 2 or 3 meetings, some input from the few East Richmond Heights residents that were able to attend the meeting, the planning department took that and created the draft that you see there. And that's the input that we're asking folks to give. Read through it. If there's things you would like to have included, go ahead and send those comments right on to Will.
And can we, at the last meeting, I was asking if we could have sort of a push to get more people to attend a meeting where we specifically said we're going to be talking about the general plan. I mean, I'm assuming attendance is down tonight because there's a really fun inauguration party happening. But so I would love to do that. I mean, if we all put it out on every single network we have, social network, it just seems like if we really want a lot of people to be involved, it would take some work to make it happen. I mean, I know our last meeting had a lot of people, but anyway, I would love to, so I don't know if we aim for the next meeting or the one after that, or, it's hard to know what's a good, when you're going to coordinate and have a good night when people will come. So I don't know what people think of that, but I'd love to hear your thoughts.
I think it's a good idea. And I know that there is supposed to be another update. So the pandemic slowed all this down for all 34, I think there are unincorporated communities. And the planning department had to shift their focus to some other things. So I know they're planning to come back to folks, but they've not themselves figured that out. So I'll get a timeline from Will on when they believe they'll be coming back. And that'll help me know if we need to schedule another meeting or wait for them to schedule the meeting.
Yeah, I think our next meeting, from what you said, may be a special meeting also. And it was interesting last time. It seems if there's something more meaty on the agenda, we have a better turnout. And I think that one neighborhood group, Mira Vista, really got the word out. So I don't know if you had any people sign up after that meeting, which we suggested. So if we have a broader email list to send it to.
I think I got 8 new emails to add, which is of any of my MACs. At none of the meetings I've ever gotten 8 people to sign up at one time. So I was very pleased with that. And our list has, I think, 59 or 60 emails on it.
Oh, that's good.
And El Sobrante, which is much larger than East Richmond Heights, I think my list has 119, and there are 15,000 people in El Sobrante. So comparatively speaking, our list is growing, and we're reaching by a greater percentage more folks in East Richmond than I am in El Sobrante. Jinwei?
Yeah, just want to add, should we post the meeting information, agenda, or things on Nextdoor? I feel like there is a very active community up there.
Absolutely, you can. I can't post, but anyone that receives the PDF of the agenda, you can include the link, you can upload the PDF. It's intended, it's a public document, so you can share it anywhere.
Okay, so if you send me a link, I can just copy that link into the post.
Yep, so when I send out the agenda a couple of days prior to the meeting, you can take the link that I include for the online version, just copy and paste that into a post on Nextdoor.
Okay.
But you'd have to do it. That's not something that I can do.
Okay, can I do it, or should we get somebody to do it?
Anybody can do it. No one, it'd be nice, if someone commits to doing it, that's great. But I know in El Sobrante that it's been posted by folks that aren't members of the MAC. They're El Sobrante residents that attend the meetings. So anyone can do it because it's a public document. But okay. I do agree that I believe that it would help get some more eyes on. Yeah. John?
Yeah, James, I have posted it on East Richmond Heights Nextdoor a couple times, depending on what's been on there, and that's always gotten people. I didn't do it this time based on, your agenda was pretty simple, but the East Richmond Heights Nextdoor is, if you want to get them, they're going to come if we post it there maybe 2 or 3 times.
Copy that. So I'm a fan of having more people at the meetings. We're all here in the evenings on our time. So if we, increase attendance, that's definitely something that I'm all right with.
I will do my best to try to remember when I get it to, maybe I'll put it in my calendar for the date. Anyway, I can try to be the one that when it hits my email, I post it.
And, if it's posted more than once, that certainly can't hurt.
That's a good point.
So, other questions from MAC members for me? Yep.
Do you want suggestions? I was thinking of Pam DeWitt Delaney, who lives in East Richmond Heights, and she's very involved. I grew up with her, and we're walking partners. Is it something you should have John Joya reach out to her, or should I have her call John?
For what?
I think she would be a very valuable person on our committee.
Oh, for the MAC? Absolutely.
Yeah, she was born and raised in East Richmond Heights, and she's very connected.
Yep, she can contact me. You can give her my email address, and I can send her the application if she's interested. She can fill that out and send that in. And truthfully, it should probably happen in the next week or so. Because we don't have a lot of applications, Supervisor Joy is going to make a decision quickly.
Okay.
Great. Okay, if there's no other questions for James.
Oh, I remember. So the other thing that we're competing with tonight, West Contra Costa Unified School District has a meeting tonight that started at 5:30, I think. So I believe we're probably competing with some folks that are interested in when their students will be returning to school and COVID provisions and things of that variety. So I'm fairly certain, we may not have had a lot more people, but I'm sure there's great interest in what the school district has to say.
Okay, so with that, do any MAC members have any discussion items that they'd like to bring up? Okay, and what about public comment? Do we have any public comment from anyone from items that were not on the agenda?
Okay, I see Joanna's hand. If there are no MAC members that have questions or public comment. Okay, Ms. Pace.
Thank you. 2 items. I put information in the chat if you would like to receive the neighborhood newsletter that Open Door United Methodist Church has been putting out. We distributed over 200 copies of that, the issue that came out last week. And secondly, I want you to know that the trustees of the church were a bit dismayed by the amount of fireworks debris that we discovered on our property after New Year's Eve. And we're very concerned about the fire hazard that fireworks create twice a year in the neighborhood at 4th of July and New Year's Eve. So some of our trustees are going to take it on as a project to learn more about firework use, prevention, education or something. And we'll be trying to, between now and 4th of July, work on ways to discourage the use of industrial duty fireworks in our neighborhood to lessen the fire risk to the neighborhood.
Thank you. Sergeant Root, if he was here, would be able to offer a little more insight into just how tall a task the last, there were about a 4-month stretch during 2020 where the fireworks were going every night. And it's a moving target, and the sheriff's office and the police departments all across the country, as I'm told, I have friends that live in North Carolina from my time in the Marine Corps. They're having fireworks every night out there for several weeks. It was, no one knows why, but all throughout California, for sure, there were fireworks nightly. But I think that's, Joanna, that's something good for you all to look at, maybe, blocking the parking lot off or something like that, running the chain up, something that definitely might be helpful.
Okay. Are there any information items? Are there any MAC members who would like to announce any events or meetings or other things you'd like to let everyone know about? Or any members of the public? Anything you want to announce or let us know about? Okay, we have no subcommittee reports, and the announcements are that we have 1 vacancy, and we've discussed that already, and it seems like we've got some applications and we're going to get some more. So it's exciting. At our next meeting, we'll have another new MAC member. So that's great. We'll have a full MAC. Seeing that, there's no other agenda items. So if there is a motion to adjourn.
I motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Stephanie, thank you for being our alternate tonight on your first night.
Oh, yeah, no worries. Happy to do it.
Thank you. All right, everyone.
Thank you, James.
Oh, do we want to announce
Thank
our
you,
next meeting?
everyone.
I just thought of that. April, I was looking, I don't have the date. Do you have that, James?
See me fumbling around. It is in my phone. It's that 3rd Wednesday in April. That would be April 21st.
All right, great. And we'll probably see you before that at our special meeting. So looking forward to that.
Well,
Good
that's
night,
not my
everybody.
birthday.
Happy early birthday. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for attending. I appreciate you all giving me some time, giving the community some time tonight. If you have any questions about anything at any time, email me, leave me a voicemail, and we'll see you at the special meeting. If not, but I'm sure we'll have one before then. If not, we'll see everyone in April.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, James. Thank you, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
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 Bye.
Nice meeting everyone.
Thanks, Joanne.
See you soon.